Hello, this is just a few minutes to go through our first module in EDSC 591. So as you can see, I'm on our course site. I'm going to scroll down to Module 1. Module 1 is an introduction to the course, and it's based around the core proposition, teachers are members of learning communities. The signature assignment is a teaching philosophy statement. And this module will consist of 2 weeks. It will run from August 24th through September 6th. At the end of those weeks, on September 6th, is when the teaching philosophy statement is due. Now, the teaching philosophy statement is a purposeful and reflective essay about your teaching beliefs and practices. I've gone through some of the kind of components that should be in it. All of us at one point or another have had to write a teaching philosophy statement. I've provided a rubric here, and as a guide, whenever I provide a rubric, which I do for every signature assignment, it should be good for you to review, because that is in fact what the scoring will be based on, is the rubric itself. I've given you a couple of websites that talk about writing a teaching philosophy statement, and a couple of examples of different ones that I particularly like. As I said, this is the signature assignment due in 2 weeks at the end of Module 1. In Module 1, we're getting to know the course, the online environment, and the participants. We examine National Board Certification and the 5 core propositions. We explore and discuss effective teaching. We discuss professional inquiry and set our course norms that will go on through the rest of this course for the 15 or 16 weeks that this course is going on. And then you will create a teaching philosophy statement. So this is the Module 1 screencast that you are watching. In the first week, we have 2 readings. I want you to go through the course syllabus and also the power and potential strengths-based connectedness. This is an article written by one of the faculty in my doctorate program. And I think it would, you'll benefit from seeing this sort of strength-based approach, which is an approach we'll use through the rest of the course. So, and the activities you're going to do are to watch the screencast, to put your name, subject, and email on our class Google Doc. And in this email, you should be using your Fullerton email. Introduce yourself. This is a talking head video that should be real quick and short. And then we're going to try and establish our course norms by you putting an initial post on what you think are the important course norms that we should be adhering to. And then I'm going to ask you to read each other's, and then by Sunday of the first week, synthesize what you think everybody has said as far as what our course norms should be. And this should be brief. This doesn't have to be pages and pages. This is just what are the key things that you're hearing or seeing or assimilating into from the responses to our class norms prompt. In week 2 of Module 1, you will have 2 readings. Now, this is the first time I'm doing this. They used to be 2 what I'd call seminal works that underpin a lot of the National Board criteria and just underpin a lot of how we've come to think about what is effective teaching. But one of them, the one by Darling Hammond, is a bit of a slog. It's a tough go as a first paper to be starting out with. So this time I've given you teacher quality and student achievement, which isn't really an academic study, but rather a synopsis of the Darling Hammond work and several other works that were done about 2000, about the turn of the century. So, but these works are sort of the foundations pieces. And I thought their summary of Darling Hammond was a good one. So this should be easier. I have also provided for you the Darling Hammond work. You're free to read either one of these articles or both if you want. And then finally, learning from expert teachers, the Berlinger 2001. So these two pieces, so the bulk of the activity in week 2 is reading this work and processing it, and then posting to the forum by Friday, September 4th, and responses to it by September 6th. Again, keep these, your responses can be brief. They don't have to be elaborate, but they should be adding to the conversation. Maybe citing some backup that, yes, you're right, because this was also said in so-and-so. I do like you to reflect your readings in your posts and your responses. In other words, this is your chance to show everybody that you have done the readings, you've thought about them, and now you're adding value to our discussion. Also, at the end of this week, your teaching philosophy statement will be due. In this teaching philosophy statement, I've used a titanium workshop, and what happens is you will submit your statements, and then we will randomly assign to review one of your peers' statements. There will be a rubric provided that you will score against, and then once that's done, I can move on but read both the statements and the peer review. So this is one of the few times that the signature assignments will be commented and scored by me after a couple of weeks, because I can't, the way the workshop works is that I can't get in and read them and score them until after you've read each other's and scored them. Your peer review will be due at the end of the first week in Module 2. Then finally, at the end of each module, I ask for your feedback. There's 5 questions. This is totally anonymous. It's a guaranteed anonymous. I don't know who writes what, and it's typed, so it can't be any handwriting or anything. So yeah, feel free to let me have it exactly what you're feeling. I'm trying to get an idea of the pacing. I'm trying to get an idea of your expectations. I'm trying to get feedback so that I can adjust the course for you as we go, rather than waiting to the very end when I get feedback that I can't act on. This is our first module. I look forward to meeting you all and going through it. Thank you.